Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sammy from Angelcraft Art. In today's video, I want to make a gnome shaker. So I made this sketch a long time ago. So the plan is like, here's the shaker part and then the other part is a gnome, and then I can make it into a keychain or something like that. And I had started that video, but I failed. I wasn't able to make the shaker part. I couldn't make it without leaking, you know. I filled it with oil, baby oil, and it was always leaking, and I was just failing. So this was the attempt. And then the part where I supposedly put the shaker, I just filled it with roses and then just finish them up, and I never uploaded the video because it was a failure. So then I was thinking about how could I do it better, and I found a solution, which is this little container. You usually get them if you buy like little accessories like glitter or something like that. And this is one of those containers. This is like closable like this, so I'm optimistic that it will not leak. And then we will cover it with epoxy clay. I already mixed up a little bit. It's a little bit risky because I don't know when it's gonna cure, but that's the plan. So first of all, we're gonna fill the shaker compartment. So I have this little sprinkles, glitter stuff. I don't want to use too much because I want to use varieties. I have this one, just some sparkly glitteries, which will be cool in the shaker. Purple it is, right here. Okay, I have some blue, very fine glitter. I think I'm gonna use that as well. And then let's fill it with some glycerin. So if you saw my snow globe videos, I always use glycerin in them because supposedly that makes the water thicker, so that it will slow the falling of the glitters and make it looks prettier, supposedly. Okay, and then I'm gonna add water. Okay, I did some things off of the camera. I did add more glycerin, so maybe it's half glycerin, half water. And then I filled it up. I add more sprinkles, glitters, because I don't know, it wasn't enough, I think. And now, as you can see, if you have more glycerin, it's like slowly sinking, you know, not just like water and just dropping down. You have like a sinking time, and I think that makes it cooler. So now I already mixed up this clay, so you really have to use it now. So now you just have to add this white clay as the background, supposedly, like, so you can, just for the base, you know, so you can see clearly what happens inside there. I'm just covering this part with the clay, like so. And this will be hard like plastic since I'm using epoxy clay. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like this for now and wait until it cures, and then we will work on the edges. I know it's not that pretty yet, but we can work through it. Okay, now I'm gonna create the rest of the gnome body. So if you're not familiar with this, I'm using epoxy clay to make this. I used it in many other videos before. It's basically a two-part clay. You mix two parts together, two equal parts, and then they will start a chemical process to harden. And in the meantime, you can work with them. So that's how this works. So first I'm going to create the gnome's nose and hand. So for the nose we just make a little ball. Okay, I'm going to use my crusty X-Acto knife, cutting out the fingers with the thumb. And then we're just going to shape them, touching them on here as if he was holding the shaker part. Now I'm rolling out 2 little cones to make the mustache for the gnome and then attaching it to the shaker compartment. So just putting it around it like this. As you can see, I'm also trying to hide the edge or covering the edge to make it looks cleaner, and then I'm just giving it some hairy texture to make it appears more like a mustache, and attach the nose on top of it. Now I'm shaping 2 little shoes, and yeah, just making a cone shape. Then I'm adding these little stitches to make the seam, and then using my little clay tools I am adding some details for the shoelace. And then using a very small thin cone of clay, I'm making the shoelace into a tie like this, or a ribbon. But it wasn't really a good idea because at the end the strings just broke off because they were too thin. So I don't know, maybe we should do it otherwise. And I'm just assembling, trying to set the little gnome onto the shoes and then making an indent so it fits better, and just like this attaching the gnome on top of it. I made this long cones to make braids for his hair, which I'm gonna attach at the back. Here I am making a little cone using aluminum foil, and then I'm making another cone, but a hollow cone, using epoxy clay, which I colored with blue acrylic paint, to put then on top of that aluminum cone, if that makes sense, just to bulk out the head so I don't have to use all clay for it, and it will be steady and not collapse. Now making some seams for the head so it looks more realistic. And what you see me doing now is making a little patch with brown clay just to attach on the head and add some little details. And I also did that on my previous gnome, and I don't know, I just like the look of the patches. Make it look more cozy, I guess. And as you can see, I like to use the handle of my X-Acto knife to give it some fabric texture. So the gnome just this way will actually fall because it's heavier on the back. That's why I'm adding this little grass piece and then adding some flowers for decoration, so just that the gnome doesn't fall to his back. So yeah, here is a little bit, I'm showing you how I make the flowers, just making this little pattern and just pinch it with this needle tool and attach it to the grass, adding a little bit yellow stuff there and giving it some texture just like that. Now, same as the old design, I thought the front looks a little bit plain and I want to add a flower to make it look cuter. So yeah, here it is. I'm adding the stamp and then a flower to his hand so it looks like he's holding the flower. And then I'm making some little leaves with the rest of the green clay and attaching it to the grass and also to the flower. So this is our gnome shaker after all cured, and yep, it shakes like this. Now I just want to add some paint to add some more details, make it look more, yeah, just more detailed, adding some washes. As you can see, I'm just painting over the whole beard and hair and then wipe off the excess paint so that the grooves are filled with the darker color and it increase the details. Same I do as the fingers, and just to add some more shadows. And then at the grass and leaves I adding a lighter green to highlight them. And on the head, as you can see at the seams, I'm adding a darker blue wash so the seams will be more defined and more visible. And after that I'm gonna wipe off the excess paint using tissue paper again, so like this. And then I'm just adding more shadows using the darker blue to add more details, and also giving it some washes using that blue mixed with white to increase the texture of the fabric that I earlier did using the handle of the X-Acto knife. So just make it pop out more and look more distressed and realistic. Okay guys, we are pretty much at the end of the video. So this is the final result of Mr. Gnome Shaker. I really like the outcome, and let's try to shake him. Very pretty. A little bit close up. Right, I like it. Finally it worked out, my second attempt. So yeah, he is all done. I have this little hook here, so just, or eye pin or whatever, just in case I want to use it to hang it somewhere, I can. If not, I just can stand him in my shelf, in my creation shelf, and let him join the family. And as you can see, I pretty much kept the old design because I already loved it. I just add some details, you know, but overall it's the same thing, the same design. And I still had to do this flower thing to make him able to sit, because without that he would fall to the back. So they look pretty much the same. This one was the failure because I couldn't do the shaking compartment, which I can do right now. And yeah, for the finishing, you can see I give it a high gloss varnish. I could do this on this one, but for now I'm just happy with it, with how it is. So I'm just gonna leave it like this, and if I decided I want to have them shinier, I can just gloss him up with some varnish. But yeah, I'm very happy with the outcome. Sorry for my dirty fingers. It's just who I am, you know. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspires you, or maybe just give you a little joy in your day. And thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.